Good morning. It's Wednesday, February 2nd, Groundhog Day. Um, Maybe six more weeks of winter. I don't know. I really don't care. Though we're expecting a storm this weekend here in upstate New York, so I don't know. I hope it doesn't leave too much snow. I got a wrestling show on Saturday. One of the shows got canceled February 20th, so I don't know if I'm going to. It means that I'm not the one promotion that was using me is no longer using me to wrestle. So that means that I could probably find another promotion to work. Also, I've been working on New York's Championship Wrestling. I was wrestling in New Jersey. I would love to continue wrestling in New Jersey. I like New Jersey. I'm even considering thinking about moving to New Jersey, mostly because I got no problems living here in upstate New York, um, but if I want to travel to Puerto Rico, it's more expensive to travel from here to Puerto Rico. It's longer too, and having having to deal with IBS, to me it's a little bit more difficult to control my stomach for longer periods sometimes. So in New Jersey, there's Newark Airport, and they have direct flights from Newark to Puerto Rico, and it only takes about 3 hours to get to Puerto Rico. So it's a little bit more convenient for me to be living closer to a place like the Newark Airport in New Jersey because it makes it a little bit more easier for me to travel to Puerto Rico in case there's an emergency. It's only 3 hours, doesn't affect me that much, and I only have to purchase one ticket and not multiple tickets, multiple flights, which add to the cost of flying to Puerto Rico. Um, so I am seriously considering moving to New Jersey, um, and I've been considering that for the past year. I'm just trying to figure out how can I make it happen if I'm going to make it happen and if I really want to make it happen. I don't know what's in New Jersey. It's been years since I lived in New Jersey. I know that there's more population, that there's more things to do, that there are more areas where there are Hispanic food restaurants in New Jersey. Um, but I don't know where I would like to go. It will depend where I can find a job, and but I know that there are manufacturing companies which I may be interested in getting a job in manufacturing. Plus, having a degree in engineering, I know that there are companies like Stryker, Merck, that may be able to use my skills. So how could I get back to New Jersey? That's the question. I used to live there in I live in Edison, New Jersey for about 6 months in 1998, and I was doing my co-op practice, which is almost like an internship, but I get paid and I get credit in school at the USCPA in Woodbridge, New Jersey, which was like that town near Edison for those 11 New Jersey. I really enjoyed the area there. It was interesting. Then I live in Collingswood, New Jersey in 2000 to 2001. Um, and I was working in Philadelphia, and it was interesting because Philadelphia is like right across. So it was interesting to be living in one state, but also working in a different state, in a different city. Philadelphia was an interesting city. I found a comic book spot when I moved down there, and it was fantastic. It was like after work, I would sometimes go to a comic book store and then go to my apartment. Um, I don't remember the name of the comic book store. It was in the Center City area, so that's all I remember. Um, and I don't know how many comic book stores there are there, but like I'm pretty sure somebody will know the name of that comic book store. So if you know, put in put it in the comments because I remember there. Um, uh, what else I found down there in Philadelphia? Oh yeah, there was a Dave and Buster's. There was a Fat Tuesday. Which is a club that I used to go and get like frozen drinks. They had a frozen drink called 81 Octane. It was like that. Anyway, but I've been thinking about moving to New Jersey. So, but yeah, this video I wanted to be quick, and I think I'm going to go into 10 minutes. But so yesterday, I've been trying to find a better job. I don't want to get stuck in retail, so I've been applying to jobs. I applied to a job for an environmental health and safety coordinator at a local company, and the job was handled by a recruiter. And I sometimes don't like interacting with recruiters because sometimes recruiters they don't they're too idealistic, and sometimes they don't even help you. They want to just help you. Like I found myself applying for on my own to jobs that I feel like I'm qualified, even if the requirement for experience is way too high. I still take a chance and apply, because what's the worst that can happen, They'll say no. Um, so one of the things that happened yesterday, and I know this on myself. I know that I've been jumping for the past few years. I've been jumping from job to job, from job one to job two to job three, and there's been very little jobs that I have stayed for 20 years with the same company. And mostly the reason for me jumping from job to job lately has been because there have been very few jobs that I have had that have paid me enough money to be able to afford living. It's a little bit difficult to explain that to a recruiter or even to an interviewer that is concerned whether you're going to stay with our company. But let me be honest and plain clear. An adult person getting paid a part-time wage close to minimum wage, the federal minimum wage, and honestly that was the situation here. I used to work as a cashier at Home Depot for $8.25 an hour part-time. You can barely pay bills here in New York State. Like part-time working at Home Depot as a cashier, you cannot pay bills. You are an adult working as a cashier part-time, good luck, because you cannot. I was having a hard time paying rent. I was on food stamps. I was on fucking food stamps, and I'm sorry I'm using the word fucking, because I shouldn't be using that. So to me, when a recruiter tells me, "Oh, why you been moving from job to job?" or when they try to get like, "Oh, why you didn't stay with Home Depot?" Why? Why? Because I was freaking poor. I didn't want to stay in that position. I'm having trouble paying my bills. Why should I stay with a company that is just not? It's causing me to be at the poverty level. Why should I stay working many years for a company at poverty wages, being freaking poor? Why? Would you stay with a company if they pay you miserable wages? Would you? And that's a question that the recruiters and HR people need to answer. And even people that work in industry that have this bias that, oh, I will not hire somebody that hasn't stayed in a company for years. It's 2022. People are going to be jumping from job to job because we're going to be looking out for ourselves. Because the companies out there, they don't care about us. They really don't. They don't care about the workers. You get injured, you get sick, you cannot work, they'll find somebody else. We're replaceable. So, who is the only one that is going to take care of us? Ourselves. Us, the workers, are the ones that have to look out for ourselves. So, I have no guilt whatsoever of quitting one job to move into another job if it pays better, if it pays better, if it offers better benefits, and if it also works with my schedule, and if it has better hours. So I got no regret whatsoever quitting a job, moving into another. And I don't care. Oh, but we put money training. Yeah, really? You train me? What? You tell me, oh, so you put this thing, you put it over here. So you put this thing, you put over here. That's what you do in your job. It's amazing, isn't it? It's a great job. Do it again for 8 hours. Um, Training. Really, training. Now, if you pay my student loans and you send me to school and help me get a degree in engineering, that would be totally different. We'll stay with you forever and ever, honestly, because you pay for my tuition in school, in college, especially when college is like highly expensive like that. I'm talking thousands of dollars that you give me. But if you only taught me to do something that anybody else can do, don't give me don't give um the word or the excuse, oh, but we spend money training you. Bullshit. You didn't spend shit money training me. You were paying me to learn how to do the job on the job. And that is not training. That is not training. Training will be if you pay for a course out there. You will just pay me to do the job while I was learning how to do it. Big deal. So what? You can find somebody else do the same thing. Like I said, we sometimes are replaceable. We workers are replaceable sometimes. And again, why you will not hire me, because honestly, I don't have any. Like, I've lost my fear speaking about these things. Like, I can tell that Home Depot, they brag about being a great company, all that kind of stuff. They are not. They are not. They pay shit to the cashiers because they are cashiers, and most of the positions are part time. I asked for full time, and they were coming up with excuse after excuse not to make me full time. So fuck Home Depot. Even though I own stocks of Home Depot, fuck Home Depot, because honestly, that's what they deserve. Um, Walmart, I got my pros and cons, and I work at Walmart right now. But Walmart has been paying me $17 an hour, which is ridiculous because sometimes I've applied to some manufacturing jobs that have offered me less than $17 an hour. Oh, apply to this job. Yeah, we want you to come here, apply and bring your resume, and we're going to test you whether you can read a measuring tape. Can you read the measuring tape? Sure. Yeah, I know how to read the measuring tape. It's a technical job, it's manufacturing, and we're going to pay you $13 an hour. Full time, $13 an hour. Well, I work at Home Depot. They give me full time hours for 17 an hour. At the time, I was like 15, but now I'm getting 17. 13 an hour, full time manufacturing. Ay, Dios mío. You gotta wonder. So yeah, I got no problem telling a company, hey, I'm not gonna move there, and I got no problem if I find a better job that pays me more than what I'm doing at Walmart. I would totally quit and move out. And if that was the case, if Walmart will pay me less than what I'm earning right now, I would have probably moved out of Walmart months ago. But you know what? I haven't been able to find anything that pays more than Walmart to this day yet. So I got no regret. You move on. I have to look out for myself. I have family living in Puerto Rico. I have student loans that I have to pay, and I haven't taken a vacation in years because I cannot afford it. I have a car payment. I have my apartment expense, my living expenses. And to me, those are things that have to be met. And I cannot access credit because I already went through a bankruptcy. I don't like using credit cards. I don't like taking credit cards. I've got in trouble with credit cards. I learned the lesson that credit cards are not worth having. So I'm not going to go into debt to complement my life because jobs want to pay shitty wages. So if I need to move to a different job to be able to afford money, to get more money, to earn more money, so I can go and afford a vacation in Puerto Rico, a job that offers me vacation time, a job that guarantee me at least 1 week of paid time off, a job that gives me a better health insurance, you know what? I'm going to quit the job that I have and move to a different job. And I don't have any regrets. So to recruiters out there, to employers out there, this is the new world. This is 2022. You are no longer in control. And if you're going to discriminate a worker that applies to your company because they've been moving from job to job, think about it. Think about what your company has to offer and why will a worker will move out of your company. If a worker has moved out of your company, it's not the worker's fault. It's probably your fault for not having the benefits or the requirements or the things that workers are looking in this economy. So yeah, definitely, in my opinion, jumping from job to job is not a bad thing. Besides, there's one thing, because I'm smart, there's one thing that I have learned. I have learned that there are some jobs that I like, there are some jobs that I don't like. I have learned seeing the retail aspect of things. I've seen how manufacturing flows in a manufacturing plant. Like, I'm a chemical engineer, and in theory, I have seen like reactors and that kind of stuff. But I went to this company called DSM Fortitech. They make vitamin premixes, and I was inside the company. I saw how the operations work. That was eye-opening. The job wasn't that difficult. It was physically demanding because you were like lifting in a whole shift. You have to keep the rate to be able to fill a reactor with all the chemicals or the ingredients that a vitamin premix will demand. But was it difficult? No, not at all, honestly. But I saw how the operations work. I saw how working in an FDA regulated environment was. So I got an eye-opening experience of like seeing how things work. So it gave me a little bit of experience seeing how things work in that particular business. Same with retail. Retail what it is, like in accounting, you said it's like you buy for less, you sell higher. Now, when you look at a company like Walmart, they have a lot of stuff, so they probably purchase things in bulk, save money. They pay less for that. So, and they sell like 1 or 2 cents, and because they sell a lot, their profits are big. So those 1 2 cents they add up. So the profits in the company can go high because of that. So definitely, it's been eye opening. Uh, Getting some experience in certain things. So to me, to jump from job to job, I don't see it as a bad thing. I see it as a positive thing. And also, coming from my background in chemical engineering, and being able to suck it up and do jobs that are like below what my degree requires, it's also eye opening too. It gives you a different perspective on life. It make me more open about accepting the fact that we need to pay workers more because they deserve it. Because it's freaking ridiculous when somebody's struggling out there. Having been struggling myself, it's like I see like somebody has a family, they're working as a cashier part time and they barely have money and they have to go on food stamp because we are not paying them enough. Is that fair? No. I think they should be paying more money because everybody should have a food on their plate and also should have a place to live, and they shouldn't have money to be able to pay their expenses because we shouldn't be corporations shouldn't be using the government to help their workers. Corporations should be paying living wages to all of their workers, so our workers can afford living. So definitely, it has changed me by me jumping from job to job, having had that experience. And you know what? I will not change it for. Though I wish I have more experience in a certain field, I would probably not change what I have done so far with my life. And it's okay to jump from job to job. So if you're a recruiter and you're telling me, like the recruiter that contacted me yesterday from this company, I don't know where they are, honestly, because they never specified, but they feel like they're, oh, your gaps in your resume, oh, you've been tenure is a key. To that recruiter, I told them to go and take their bullshit someplace else, honestly, because I cannot, I don't have time to deal with that kind of bullshit. You know, um, my my reason from job to job has been personal, has been a thing of me trying to find a way to take care of myself, and I got no regrets for that. And if somebody is going to tell me that, oh, that is going to see that as a negative, it's not a negative. It's a positive thing. I've been trying to look out after myself because nobody else will be able to do that for me. Not your company, not the previous company, not even the company that I work for. They pay me to do a job. They will only care enough for me to be there to make them the profits, and do my job. But they will not look out for myself. So I have to look out for myself. And if that means to move to a better job, I have to do that. If I need to jump from a different position, I will do that. Because I'm the one that has to look out after myself. Opportunities for growth may not happen, in the company that I'm in. So if I cannot get in this company, move to another company. Simple and easy. So yeah, no regrets moving from job to job. I have no regrets. I have no like 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 I have no regret for moving from one company to another. I will say in one company if things are well, if my needs are being taken care of. But if my needs are not being taken care of, what's the motivation to stay with a company? Like what was happened with a previous company that they were paying me low wages and I was having difficulty in paying my living expenses because the wages weren't barely enough to afford rent. Like seriously, a 25 part time is not much money. So you're telling me that I should stay in a company that's paying me a misery wage and I cannot afford to pay things or anything living and stay with that company for just to say that, oh yeah, I've stayed with the company for a long time, yay. No, no, not a good thing. Because we've been brainwashed. You people at the top, you people that work in HR, you've been brainwashed by the idea that, oh, I was working 20 hours, but time and people were paying me and I was having difficulty, but I move up and I achieved this position. You love those stories, but honestly, reality is that if you're a grown adult and you're living on your own, you cannot afford anything with part-time work. And those positions that I had were part-time. And even if they were full-time, I was still not earning enough money to be able to pay all my bills because they were paying me so little. Because the rent in New York is expensive. And if you cannot understand that, because you've been brainwashed by the idea that, oh, people will achieve success if they work hard and yada yada, fuck you, like there's a different way. If I don't like a company, I will move to a different company. If your company decides to cut some benefits, I will probably find a different job. Simple and easy. Nothing wrong with moving to a different job. Nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with moving to a different job with a different company. Nothing wrong with just job hopping. And if you are a worker that has been jumping from job to job, kudos to you. Congratulations. And I can understand. And you are a person that deserves respect. And I believe in what you're doing. So keep doing what you're doing. So that's all I got to say. And I apologize it went further than I wanted to, but I needed to take this out of my chest because I'm tired of when companies make me feel guilty for me jumping from job to job, especially when the jobs that I move out of, they were toxic in some cases, and in some cases they paid for so little that I just was depressed because I couldn't pay for my things. Right now, I'm still dealing with a little bit of depression, but you know what? I can afford paying most of my bills because I get paid enough. But what it took me quitting this job. Oh, I'm going to try to apply. Oh, okay. Now I'm going to stay here. And I'm taking my sweetest time applying to jobs. And when I go to an interview and they tell me that they pay less than what I'm earning, you know what I tell them? Listen, I need more than that. I need more than that to be able to live. And when they tell me, well, I don't know because this is entry level. You know what? Walmart is entry level. Walmart is entry level. And you know how much I get paid? 17 an hour. 17 an hour at Walmart. So what's your excuse not to pay a good wage to a worker, especially when you are in manufacturing? Or if you are in automotive field, because that's a ridiculous thing. Monroe Muffler, the company Monroe Muffler. I was working as an automotive technician. You know how much I was getting paid? 13.50 an hour. Plus I had to get my own tools too. 13.50 an hour. I had to get my own tools. Really? 13.50 an hour. And I had to get my own tools. It's stupid. It's ridiculous. It's a scam. Why will I work for Monroe? I pretty much told them, listen, you want me to work there, but you are going to pay me a misery wage? Bye-bye, Monroe. So I quit. I quit because it makes no sense to get paid a misery wage and then you have to invest so much money on getting tools, which I got the tools I got them mostly because I was going to school at the time. I was doing automotive management, and I still have my tools. I still have the investment on my tools. Now I have my tools, but 13.50 an hour for the knowledge that I have, I feel like it's a misery. So yeah, this is the reality that we're living in this war. And this is why I'm angry. Because honestly, I'm tired of this shit. It's been years that I've been seeing this. It's been years that I've been seeing workers getting fucked because they are hired part time and they're getting paid misery wages. Misery wages. And I have seen myself because I've been struggling myself too. Because I was one of those workers getting paid a misery wage of $8.50 an hour. And fuck, I cannot afford pay my rent and buying food and all that kind of stuff. Oh, I have to go into government help. But nobody wants to talk about this. Government, the GOP doesn't like to talk about it. They still are brainwashed with this idea like, oh, you can make it big, or that this job is only for young people. No, no, no. We have a problem in this country that there are no good jobs for older people. So sometimes we have to go into these jobs that are supposedly for young people, but they are not. They are jobs for everybody, for people young, old. They are for everybody. And regardless whether you're young or old, you deserve a living wage. And the fact that the government doesn't do anything because they give this shitty excuse and they even dare to use the stupid Bible, because I, honestly, like, it gets ridiculous when they start using the Bible to, oh, we should increase the minimum wage because it will not give people the motivation. Like, bullshit, bullshit. We need money. We workers need money. Meanwhile, you are in Congress having amazing dinners paid by taxpayers, and you're living the good life. Meanwhile, your constituents are struggling to pay their bills. It's about time we workers take charge of things, because the corporations, they don't care. You cannot work, they will find somebody else that will replace you. Simple and easy. Simple and easy. We are replaceable. So just think about it. And that's all I got. Bye.